Howdy! Today we're going to take a look at Aeons in the Depths, which is an expansion to Aeons End, or one of the other base core games of Aeons End. Aeons End is a cooperative deck building game set in a fantasy sci-fi world. Other mechanisms that are predominantly found in Aeons End are variable turn order, variable player powers, and variable setup. You can also find solo play if you wish. As mentioned earlier, Aeons in the Depths is an expansion for Aeons End, or Aeons End War Eternal, or Aeons End Legacy, or Aeons End The New Age. Or you can mix all these together for an ultimate play experience. This part is to show you what sleeves are required and which ones I use in order to sleeve up your game. My initial base game was Aeons End Legacy, so it varied in how many sleeves you would need in order to completely sleeve up, since there were some cards, actually quite a few cards, that didn't really need to be sleeved. But then later I went into Aeons End War Eternal, and I needed about 4 boxes of sleeves. The sleeve size that you'll need will be standard. The standard size cards can be found for Magic or Pokemon sized. The ones I use are Dragon Shield non-glare clear mats. And you can see it gives it a nice finish on the back, while not really glossing over the front too much. I decided to take it an extra step and go ahead and sleeve all the Nemesis cards in standard clear red Dragon Shield matte. And you can see it makes them stick out, giving you the red back while having the front. And then for the randomizers, I went with the standard Dragon Shield matte clear blues to make sure that they stick out. Even though they have kind of the gray back and already stick out as it is, I wanted to make sure that nothing would accidentally get mixed in or shuffled in. For a base game, you're probably going to need 4 boxes of sleeves, about-ish. I went with 2 boxes of the clear mattes, 1 box of the clear reds, and 1 box of the clear blues. For this particular expansion, overall there are only 74 cards in the expansion, so you would only need 1 box of clears. If you go the style I did, you would need 21 reds for the Nemesis cards, 8 blues for the randomizers, and you would need 45 clears for the supply cards. This part's going to be a spoiler-free section, so we're just going to kind of show you what comes with it number-wise, so that you know what to expect. And then we'll do a brief pause and go on to spoiling and showing what's actually each thing that's added in. So one of the things you get in this expansion is another Nemesis, the Horde Crone, and it comes with its divider also. You also get the 9-card Nemesis deck, which is unique to the Horde Crone. Also unique to this Horde Crone is another deck called the Trog deck, which will have special rules on how that deck works. You also get 3 more Breach Mages. The Breach Mages each also have their unique card that goes to your starter deck. You also get some more cards that are used for building your deck, as this is a deck building game. And the number of cards you get are 8 different things to add, plus their randomizers. So the first thing we'll look at is what type of card, which cards do you get to add to your deck. You get 1 gem, which seems pretty decent if you want to cycle cards onto the top of your deck. You also get 2 relics, and then the rest are spells, so it should be 5 spells since there are 8 new cards that come along with this. Some of these seem pretty interesting. Can't wait to try them out inside the game and see what it's all about. So next we'll look at the Nemesis. The Nemesis, of course, comes with its divider so that you can separate out what its unique cards from the rest of the deck. It looks like what this Nemesis does is that it's going to have the special Trog deck, which we'll flip through quickly here. And when it unleashes in the game, it's basically going to add Trogs to one of these 3 spots and basically be like an extra name list that does some things. It looks like the Trog deck constantly recycles and basically just makes the game more difficult as it does things. So we'll go ahead and look at the Trog deck. In the Trog deck, it looks like the Trogs, the 3 different types, are exactly the same. They're just going to be shuffled up randomly so that you can kind of see how many are out there, and depending on how many are out there of each type, you can see they do stronger things until they are killed. And then you look at the cards that get added into the Nemesis deck along with the basics. So some nice little creatures, some new powers, some new attacks, which are always interesting for some extra effects. Should be nice to try against the new Nemesis. Next, let's look at these new Breach Mages. So one of the things I like inside this game is how it gives you a unique card for your deck building game that is unique to your mage, and usually a way that kind of helps you play to their strengths and the way their powers work. So we got Nim here, who basically his special power is to discard a top card of the Nemesis deck, and then if you discard an attack card, discard an additional card. That could be pretty cool. Sounds like it'll get rid of some of those bad attacks and stuff and let you cycle through the deck and get a win another way. And then Reeve here, deal 5 damage to a minion and deal 3 damage to a different minion. So damage dealer, as long as you're dealing with a bunch of minions, could be good against this new boss. And then Gravehold gaining 7 life from Zahana here seems pretty good. The quality on all the stuff seems about the same. We will see how this mixes in, and we'll come back and give you my opinion on the game.